Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I've got a brand new Wonder recipe for you. This one's just a little bit different. Generally my Wonder recipes are how to take a 6x6 piece of designer series paper, cut it up, and make multiple cards from one piece of 6x6 cardstock. Today I'm going to shake it up a little bit. This is the card I had in mind, and as you can see, I've got 4 patterns of designer series paper here. So this Wonder recipe is going to require 2 6x6 sheets. All right, let's get started. I'll walk you through the materials that you'll need for this card and through the cutting diagram. We'll assemble the card, and then I'll show you the stack of cards that I made using this Wonder recipe. Okay, let's get started here. The first thing I want to walk you through are the Stampin' Up! Tools that you will need to make this card. To make 8 of these cards with the Wonder recipe, as a matter of fact. Okay, so this card features the Lift Me Up bundle from Stampin' Up! It includes the Lift Me Up stamps and the Up and Away Thinlits dies. When you bundle them together, you save 10%. The other thing that I used for these cards is my cookie builder punch. I just can't get enough of this. And if you see my balloons, I embellished them with a tiny little heart that's cut from this. All right, ink pads that we used are our Stampin' Pad Basic Gray and Night of Navy. Pattern paper for this card is the Carried Away Designer Series paper. It is available for free while we are in the celebration period. So if you were to buy the Lift Me Up bundle and either some of the Stampin' Pads or the Cookie Builder Punch or pack of cardstock, and you reach the $50 mark for your purchase, you would be allowed to choose an item from Celebration that's absolutely free. In this case, I would highly recommend the Carried Away Designer Series paper that coordinates with the Lift Me Up bundle. The paper is 12 by 12. It's 12 sheets, double-sided designs, and you get 2 of each of these gorgeous designs that I'm showing you here. It's a really fun collection of pattern paper that goes great with the Lift Me Up bundle. I've decided to use this parachute pattern with the smoky slate background, and then this Watermelon Wonder balloon paper with the multicolor pattern on the back. I cut these down to 6x6 so that I would have 4 patterns. I've got 2 6x6 sheets here. And then I cut these sheets into 1.5-inch squares. Each sheet yields 18 1.5-inch squares. So that's what you see here. So the Wonder recipe this time is basically 1.5-inch squares, and what are we going to do with them? It's a great place to jump in and get stamping. So once you've chosen your designer series paper, the rest is pretty easy. It falls into place. The Lift Me Up bundle is an obvious choice. Our colors are all determined from the pattern, so we know which ink pads and which cardstocks to use. And when you put together the card according to the Wonder recipe, you can put together a lot of cards quickly. Okay, so we've cut our 1.5-inch squares. Let's put together this card, shall we? The first thing we're going to do is take a little bit of snail adhesive and we're going to apply our squares to our card base. We've got 1.5-inch squares of Carried Away here. We've got about a 3x3 piece of Whisper White. This is the scrap that's left over. To make 8 of these cards, you need about a sheet of Whisper White cardstock. We also have just the tiniest scrap of Watermelon Wonder. If you had a 1-inch by like 8.5-inch piece, just a strip, a scrap, you could do all 8 cards. The Wonder recipe yields 8. You'll also need 8 card bases. I have mint macaron here, and it is 11 inches by 4.25, and it's scored at 5.5. I've got my bone folder here. Let's work the score in this card and put it together. Okay. All right, so we've got our little card base here, and we're going to put some snail adhesive on each of these squares. And then we'll arrange them on the card. you're looking for in this particular design is for your squares to just be kind of jumbled, kind of cattywampus, but you're looking for an even top and side margins as you add them to your card base. They can touch in the center a little bit. Looks kind of cute. Leave some open spaces. There they are. Now let's do some stamping. First thing I'm gonna do is add my greeting. You soar above the rest, congratulations. And I'm gonna stamp that with Knight of Navy. Then on our Whisper White, we'll stamp a few balloons. The little guy with basic gray and this larger balloon. Now we've got Knight of Navy here and we want a really good solid image as best as we can get. So we're going to tap multiple times lightly, pick up as much ink as we can, and then take some time and really hold the stamp and let the ink transfer. Use a moderate pressure so that you don't get the halo or blush in the center here where the stripes are supposed to be white. You don't want that to blush with navy ink. And then when you've lifted up, you'll get a good, strong, solid navy image. Then I've got my Cookie Builder punch in this little scrap. I'm gonna punch 3 of these tiny bitty little hearts here. Okay, our stamping is finished, so let's bring in the Big Shot. Here I am. I've got my Big Shot and my magnetic platform. I've also got a cutting plate. My 2 balloon images. I've got the framelits dies to cut them out. I like to put just a little piece of low-tack tape, some washi tape, whatever you got, so that they don't move during the cutting process. Sometimes when I've got more than one die on there, they wiggle a bit. Okay, there are our balloons all die cut and ready to go. Right, let's finish up. This is a nice quick card. We're going to put some dimensionals on the back of our balloons. Now this little gray balloon is going to overlap our navy balloon, so we want to keep our dimensional adhesive on the side here so that we don't end up with a double bump. Our balloons are all sticky. Let's adhere them over the patterns. There they are. Last is just to embellish with some little Watermelon Wonder hearts. So I've got some multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to put a dot where I want the little hearts to sit, and then I'm going to put the smallest little dot on the scrap of white, a Whisper White scrap. I've got my scoring tool here, and I'm just going to touch that to the liquid adhesive and then to my finger, and it makes a sticky tip. It makes it very easy to pick up those little hearts. Okay, adhere the little hearts in their proper place, and here we go. We've got 2. Congratulations, you soar above the rest. And then I made a few that say thanks for lifting me up. Sending smiles across the miles. There it is. With the Wonder Recipe number 3, you can make 8 cards. How's that for getting more cards made faster? If you've got any questions, email me, Marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.